Buenas tardes. Yo soy la profesora Littell, and today we're going to talk about the verb chart that we use when we learn a foreign language. And this is part 1. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the infinitive. The definition of the infinitive. The infinitive is the form of the verb as you find it in the dictionary. The infinitive does not have tense. The infinitive does not have a subject. Now we have to talk about conjugation. Conjugation means manipulating or changing the infinitive so that it has tense and a subject. Tense is time, for example, present, past, future, etc. The subject is the person or thing that is doing the action or that the sentence is about. In English, the conjugation chart would look like this. But what does this mean? Let's look at the rows, the purple row. This is the first person row. I am talking about myself when I say I and then the verb, or I'm talking about somebody else and myself when I say we. The yellow row, this is second person. This means you're talking to someone. We have a you singular and a you plural. Sometimes in colloquial English we'll say you guys or y'all. And then in third person, the blue row, this means I'm talking to somebody else about a woman, she, a man, he, or a thing, it. And if I'm talking about a group of people or a group of things, then we say they, verb. Let's look at the columns. The yellow column is all singular. If I say I go, I'm talking about only one person. You go, in this case singular. We also have a plural on the other side. If I'm talking about one woman, she goes, or one man, he goes, or a thing, it goes. Now the blue column is all plural. We, that talks about somebody else and myself. You guys, you are my students. And then of course if we're talking about a group of people or about a group of things, they. So let's use a verb in English to see how this works. Okay, so we write the infinitive at the top above the chart, and we're going to use to speak. So if we conjugate it, you'll see that we have our two columns, singular and plural, and then we have our rows of first person, second person, and third person. I speak. We speak. You speak. You speak. Now, the you in English doesn't change, but in context we'd know what we're talking about. Or if you put in you guys or y'all, of course you know that you're talking to a group of people. If we talk about a woman, we say she speaks. A man, he speaks. Or a thing, it speaks. If we talk about a group of people or a group of things, they speak. Okay, so let's review the chart. See if you remember. If you're looking at the purple arrow, what does this column stand for? Is this singular or plural? Right, it's singular. And how about the red arrow? Which column is it pointing to? Right, plural, more than one. And let's look at the yellow row. Do you remember what person that stands for? That's right, first person, because I'm talking about myself. How about the blue row? This is the second person. You are talking to somebody or a group of people. And then the green row, this is third person. And third person means we're talking about a person or about a group of people or about a thing. So let's look at the subject pronoun chart. This isn't a verb, this is just the subject pronouns. What pronoun goes here at the top of the singular column when you're talking about yourself? Right, I. What pronoun goes here if you're talking to one person? Correct, you. So third person, if we're talking about a woman, she. How about if we're talking about a man? He. And if we're talking about a thing, it. Good. What pronoun goes here? Remember, this is still first person, but instead of being singular, it's going to be plural. Right, we, somebody else and myself. How about here if I'm talking to a group of students? Right, again, you, or we'd say you guys, y'all. And here, if I'm talking about a group of people, or if I'm talking about a group of things, they. And that concludes this slide. I also have a part 2 that we will continue. Adios.